Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Thato and you're most definitely welcome on my channel. Do hit that subscribe button and join the fam, and hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Now if you are a subby and coming back, welcome back. So as you can see by the title of this video, we are doing a makeup tutorial, a detailed makeup tutorial for beginners. So you guys, I hope you enjoy it. Step by step to show you guys, ways to do your makeup if you're a beginner, or ways to improve your makeup if you feel like you need to improve your skill here and there. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to click that like button if you enjoy it, and yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so you're gonna start with the base of our makeup because that is such an important part of your makeup. Like, the base is so important, you guys. You have to take care of the base and make sure that it is beautiful, and therefore the rest of your makeup, can shine as well. Of course, you also have to perfect the other steps, but let's get started with the base. So first things first, we are going to prime. I am using the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer to prime my skin. I'm going to go in with my concealers. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade number 35 for highlighting. Then you want to go in with your damp beauty blender and blend it all out. Now for contour, we're going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze. How I'm going to do it is on the cheeks. I'm going to then apply it right here. So right above where the line is, not on top of the line exactly, and curve it like this. My cheekbone like that, just a little bit like that. Then on my forehead, then my nose, and jawline. For beginners, I would say it is much easier to control and move your contour, even though it's cream, with your brush. It just makes it easier to blend, especially with the way that I'm going to show you guys how to blend. Especially on the cheeks, you have to blend upwards instead of just like stamping in with your beauty blender and just going like all over the place, just trying to blend it in or like wiping it out. You can still use your beauty blender. I still use my beauty blender sometimes to from time to time to do my contouring. It's just that I'm used to it, and I feel like because this is a beginner friendly video, I just want to show you how much easier it would be to blend it out with your brush. Now you're going to take your brush and you're going to swipe in, not necessarily in fluttering motion, so not in circular motion, but in fluttering motion, just to blend out that contour. You want to make sure that you bring it upwards instead of dragging it down, so it doesn't cast the shadow too much on this, but don't drag it all the way up. So just small flutter motions upwards. Now I made a mistake, I'll admit. Usually I use my beauty blender and therefore that kind of picks up a lot more product than a brush. So with a brush you save a lot more product because it doesn't pick up as much product. So therefore I should have used a little less contour than this, but I can work with it. So just use a lot less, just to give yourself less work and make it more natural, but you can still work with this and blend it out even more. And I still haven't done my foundation step yet, so that will help with diffusing this harsh contour. See how well it's blending out there by the forehead because I didn't use too much product. And this side as well, blending out much better than this side. Then on your jaw you can kind of go in a circular motion along that jawline. For my nose, I'm going to go in with the beauty blender. Now as you can see, this side is still very much pigmented. Even though I've blended it out, it's a lot more pigmented than this side. So this is the more nicely contoured side, and this is sort of the problematic side. It has gone up her there into my cheek as I was blending it out, and a little bit lower into my jawline. Now this is why I love the way I do my makeup now. We do foundation loss, and it helps with, as you can see, my face is pretty much mostly done. I pretty much have, you know, the natural look. It's not full coverage, but it's not like to like makeup no makeup look. There's makeup there, but it's very lightweight because there's not a lot of foundation packed before I do the concealers. And also, if I do make a mistake, this is where we go in with our foundation and correct it. So if there's any spaces left, we go in there. And also for areas like this where I went too high or too low, or if there's a harsh line, you go in and blend it in seamlessly with your foundation. So that is why I love doing this last, and you definitely will be saving on a lot of foundation because you won't be using a lot of it. So the foundation that I'm using for today's look is the Rimmel London Lasting Finish 25-Hour Foundation in the shade Nutmeg. Literally all you need is a little bit, and now I'm using the base of my beauty blender, just going in there a little bit into the product and just going right there on my cheek area. where I feel like the contour went too high and maybe there's like a harsh line. Then right there on my mouth. Then I'm going right there underneath. Like I said, I felt like it went too low, so I'm cleaning it up a bit. Okay, so now it's time to set the look, the makeup. I'm using the Yardley Loose Translucent Powder. Before I go ahead and set, I just go in with my wet beauty blender again right underneath my eyes, the clean side. Underneath my eyes to make sure that there isn't any creasing or anything like that. Now the perfect trick for using a powder, especially translucent powder, is to use a brush instead of going in with a beauty blender and then just tapping off the excess. So I'm trying to use as little as possible of the powder just to set, not to bake. Start underneath my eyes, over my eyes there. Then there on my nose and my forehead T-zone area. So the areas that will most likely get oily first. And my chin, of course. Areas around my mouth. Now I'm going in with my Essence Mattifying Compact Powder in the shade Espresso to set my contour. Just lightly apply this powder over the areas that I contoured. Now I'm going to go in with my brush again and do a very light reverse contour there by the cheeks. For blush, I'm using the Essence Matte Touch Blush in the shade Peach Me Up. Then I'm just applying it right there in the center of my cheek and then carrying the leftover across my cheek right above my contour. So you see, this is where my contour is. I'm applying it right there above and also on the heart of my cheek. Then I apply a little bit of blush that's left over on the brush and just dip a little bit more if needs be and apply it there on the tip of my nose. Okay, now for eyeshadow I'm using the Beauty Treats Deluxe Pro Palette and I'm just going to sort of stick to my neutral shades for the sake of like a beginner friendly tutorial. So that is why I went with this palette, and honestly I think as a beginner you should start small. So start with the more neutrals and then you'll start playing with color as you learn how to blend to perfection. I'm going to go into that shade over there and use it as a transition shade. So I'm applying it into my crease area in circular motions. With eyeshadow, you have to take a little bit at a time so that you can rather build it up, take your time, instead of now being under stress of how you're going to blend out all that shadow. Especially if you don't know how much punch a color or a shade or a palette is packing. Some palettes are really pigmented, and so just dipping in there is going to go a long way. As you can see, as I am blending it out in circular motions, I am bringing it higher up and higher up towards my brow. Then I go in again, but this time I'm going right there on top of my eyelid. Then I'm going to go into that peachy shade and apply this in the frontal part of my eyelid, sort of 1/3 of my eyelid, and then also focus it there in this corner. This intensifies or this rather sort of makes this corner show up. It's almost like you're applying like a false contour, like a fake contour of the bridge of your nose, and also you're extending your eyelid as well, so it gives the impression that you have a bigger eyelid. I'll show you guys just now when I'm done with this one eye to compare it with the next. This may seem very technical, but I promise you these type of eyeshadow looks are easier to do as a beginner. You can also take it up there into the frontal part of your brow, and this also extends your eyelid as well, and your nose and the bridge. It sort of shapes it and gives it that elongated look. Do you guys see the difference between this eye and this eye? Look at that. These looks are super easy. You just have to get a fluffy brush that has long bristles, and it's sort of easy to move around and easy to bend, as you guys can see. So it makes it very easy to blend in circular motions. And as I said, we are going for the more neutral shades, so it's so much easier to blend these type of shades. So at this point, because this is a more like warm eyeshadows, you can leave it here. For a beginner, this is really a lot. If you've done this and you feel like, yeah, I've done it, then you can leave it here. Otherwise, you can use a highlighter that I'm gonna do. Use like your golds, your more warmer side highlighters instead of like your silvers, and you know, or like a silver kind of eyeshadow, because it's going to give a cooler effect to this look, and it's more on the warmer side. I mean, I suppose you could play with it, but let's stick to the warmth right now. And I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow. This is the highlighter that I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use it to finish up the eye look. Now I'm taking like a flat kind of brush, kind of small also, so you're able to sort of play with it or draw with it or go into small intricate places with it. And we just, you see that ridge right there, that extra sort of carved out bridge of your nose? That's where we're going to start, and we're going to walk along that ridge, work along that ridge with our highlighter. So I'm using it as highlighter already and going with the smaller brush by the bridge of my nose, and then blending up my finger there by the bridge, and then the tip, as well as right there by the eyebrow arc, right there. Okay, then I'm just going to take this angled medium-sized face brush and place my highlighter right in that area. So I'm not placing my highlighter here starting by my cheek right here, the frontal. I'm just placing it right here, but not too close to the eye as well, so pay attention to that. And this motion as well that I am using to apply it, and that is pretty much enough highlighter. You don't want your highlighter to be, you know, too much. I'm just going to take a brown shade, a dark brown, and go right there underneath the lower lash line. I'm using Maybelline Lasting Fix Spray to set my makeup. Now you'll notice that I'm not done with my eyes. I haven't done my mascara or lashes, but at this point I will be setting. You can still do it afterwards, but it's really not that big of a deal. So you can set the rest of your face makeup now. Now for lashes, I'm using the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. I'm going to use eyelash boutique lashes. Go for the smaller lash. While we're waiting for the glue to get a little bit tacky, we're going to move on to the lips. I'm using my MAC Antique Velvet lipstick as lip liner. This shade, you guys, as lip liner, wow. So then for lipstick, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Latte to Go. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed creating it. I hope you guys could learn from it, and I hope you guys were able to understand it, especially my beginners out there. I really want to see you guys recreate this look and become perfect at, you know, recreating it. Remember, I have a beginner makeup series for my beginners. If you're not new here, if you're new here, be sure to check out that playlist. So keep on going through that playlist and training, and you'll definitely get there. So click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and share it with somebody who might need it, okay? And leave me a comment of whatever, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video.